start our class without any further delay. Yes, because the students are still coming, as although I requested yesterday to all students to come on time, but very few have joined the class on time. But no problem, it's okay. We'll start the class on time. So first of all, I think Hanok is here or not? No, right now he has not joined. Few students have tried the first question. First question means difference of squares of any two odd integers. Yes, the question was what difference of squares of any two odd integer is a multiple of 8 that you have to prove. Okay, so many students have tried and many were asking for the solution. That's why I'm giving the solution here. Okay, and then I will carry forward the class. Okay, still now the other students are coming. I am solving the first question. Okay, see, in the previous class I had given you the hint what that the two odd integer, any two odd integer, you have to take one odd integer as 2n plus 1 and the other odd integer as 2m plus 1. So you have to take any two odd integers as 2m plus 2n plus 1 and 2m plus 1. Okay, good morning to all. Yes, good morning. So you are choosing two odd integers 2n plus 1 and 2m plus 1. Now I have to show that difference of squares of these two is a multiple of 8. So many students have done very interesting things. A few students have sent me the solution, and those solutions were really interesting because they were doing some new thing in the mathematics. That is very new thing in the mathematics. I have never seen those things. Okay, so all were wrong. Okay, those new things were wrong. So don't think that all those new things were true. Those new things were wrong. Okay, so I am doing the okay. See, difference of squares of these two odd integers. So it will be 2m plus 1 whole square minus 2n plus 1 whole square. Now I can apply the formula of a square minus b square. This is one of the option, and the other option is I can directly open these two. Okay. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, in the group there was a message. In the Telegram group there was a message for the Zoom link. That was I was saying. See, if you open these two, then what will you get is 4m square plus 2ab means 4m plus 1 minus here what you'll get 4n square plus 4n plus 1. Okay, now if we open this, then I will get 4 times m square minus 4m square minus 4n square. So 4 times m square minus n square. Okay, next 4m minus 4n, so 4 times m minus n, and this one and this one will get cancelled out. Okay, next. Now, yes, I will not take the name, but one student has done what? He has multiplied here by 2. How you can multiply anything by 2? If there is an equation, suppose x equal to y, then in that case you can multiply both sides by 2. It is okay. But if only x is written, you cannot multiply it by 2. No? Otherwise, the whole mathematics will get destroyed. Okay, so such type of things you cannot do. You cannot multiply it by 2. Is it clear? Okay, so now what we have to do is, see, what we have to do here. Just a minute. Okay. Here 4 into m minus n, I can take common from both. Now in the bracket, what will left? Here m plus n, and here only 1 will be left out. Okay, yes. Now I have just only this. Now you cannot simplify further. This is the most simplified form. Now you have to prove that it is a multiple of 2. You have to prove that it is a multiple of 2. Although you are seeing here that it is a multiple of 4 clearly, but you have to prove that it is a multiple of 8. So that means you have to prove that it is a multiple of 2. See, listen again. You have to prove that this encircled thing is a multiple of 2, because the total is a multiple of 4. If this encircled thing becomes a multiple of 2, then this whole will become a multiple of 8. Now how to prove it? See carefully. Now mathematically you cannot do anything further, so you have to analyze the things. All multiples of 4 are also multiple of 8. Versa is saying that's not true, because 4 is a multiple of 4 but not multiple of 8. 12 is a multiple of 4 but not multiple of 8. Okay, so this is not the correct logic. You have to do properly. See, listen carefully what I'm saying. Here m and n are integer. Okay, the previous step I'm explaining it again. Don't worry, I will explain at the end. Okay, so here what will you do is see, from here I have to find difference of squares of these two numbers. So I have done 2m plus 1 square minus 2n plus 1 whole square. I have just opened the bracket and taken out common 4 into m minus n from these two, 4 into m minus n from these two. So I am getting this. Now it's clearly a multiple of 4, but I have to prove that it is a multiple of 8. That's why I was telling that this encircled thing must be a multiple of 2. I have to prove that this encircled thing is a multiple of 2. So listen carefully. Now listen carefully, everyone. See, m and n are integer. It's no problem. You can write n first and m later, no problem. That's not a problem. Okay, the only difference will come here is you will get n minus n. So not a tough problem. Okay, you can write n first and m later. I have just written like this. Okay, there is no any logic behind this. Okay, see, listen. M and n are integer. Here you have to use the logic that m and n are integer. Okay, and you have to prove that this m minus n into m plus n is a multiple of 2. If it becomes a multiple of 2, then the whole thing becomes a multiple of 8. Now see, if m and n are integer, there can be some cases. For example, case 1, m and n both are even. The first case, it can be what? M and n both are even. Okay, so if m and n both are even, so see, m minus n will be an even number, because even minus even becomes an even number. If m minus n becomes an even number, then it will be a multiple of 2, and hence it is proved that this whole thing is a multiple of 8. Okay, now come to case 2. Case 2. So what can be the second case for m and n? Both are odd. M and n both are odd. Okay, again, very silly thing. One student, again I will not name, can we add 4 plus 4? So see, how can you add 4 plus 4? 4 into some different thing, 4 into some different thing. How you can add 4 and 4? If suppose there is written 4x plus 4y, so can you write 8 into x plus y? Okay, so I think I'm clear. You cannot do this. Okay, so yes, case 2, m and n both are odd. The only thing you can do is this thing, whatever I am doing here. So please clearly understand this logic. I was telling in the previous class that the question was not so easy. That's why I did not solve the question in the class previously. I'm solving right now because a few students were regularly trying, and that is a very good thing. Do you know, getting the correct solution of the question is not very much important right now. Right now, the most important thing is that you must try all the questions properly. This is the most important thing. You must try. And if any student has tried this question, then I congratulate to him that definitely by doing such type of work for the 2 years, he will definitely get selection. Okay. So the most important thing is your try. You must try. Even if you are not getting answer, even if you are doing silly thing, even if you are doing mistake, not problem. You must try. This is the important thing. Okay. So see, I oftenly say in the class, very often I say in the class that this is not crime is what? What is a crime? Crime about studying. I tell that do not if you are not trying the question, then you are doing crime. But if you are trying the question properly and if you are not getting answer, if you are not able to solve, that is not the problem. That is good. Okay. So the second case is m and n both are odd. If m and n both are odd, then in that case m minus n will again be even, because odd minus odd you get an even number. For example, 7 minus 3 you get 4. So odd minus odd even, and again if m minus n becomes even, the whole thing becomes a multiple of 2 and this whole number becomes a multiple of 8. Now case 3. Now what can be the next case? The next case can be one of them is even and the other is odd. One is even, other is odd. Okay. This is the third case. So m is, suppose m is even, n is odd. Anything you can take, any one of is even and any one is odd. Okay. So see what will happen here. M minus n will be an odd number, because even minus odd or odd minus even becomes an odd number. You can take example 7 minus 2 is an odd number, but see m plus n. M plus n, what will be m plus n? It will be also an odd number, because odd plus even, 7 plus 2, 9, it is an odd number. But if we add 1, then it will be an even number. So in this case, this m plus n plus 1 will be an even number. So if this m plus n plus 1 is even number, then this total will be a multiple of 8. So only there can be 3 cases. In all the cases, this is a multiple of 8. So I have proved that the difference of squares of any two odd integer is always a multiple of 8. This is the correct way. Okay. So I already told you that the question was not very much easy, but it includes some logic which I have given you. So if you have any problem, you can ask me. Even if someone is not understanding 100%, then it's okay. You can also leave this question because this is a little difficult. Okay. See, m plus n plus 1, where do 1 come? See here m plus n plus 1. I am analyzing these cases. Okay. So I have not added 1 from myself. It is provided in the question. I am analyzing if m and n are even, if m and n are odd, if 1 is even, 1 is odd, then what will be m minus n? What will be m plus n plus n? 1. Okay. That's why I analyzed that m minus n will be odd, this will be odd, and this m plus n plus 1 will be even. Okay. So I am just analyzing these. I am not adding or subtracting anything from my side. Yes. Anything else you want to ask? Consecutive, I have already proved. Okay. I solved the consecutive question in the class itself. Yes, anything else you want to ask, then please ask. Is it clear? Is this question clear? I am telling you, if someone is not clear 100%, then don't worry. Later on, when your mind will become more mature, in that case you will be able to understand this problem. That's why I did not solve this problem initially in the class. Okay. So yes, please tell me, should I move forward? Deepak, I don't understand what you want to say. That's it. The answer is okay. So are you appreciating the thing? Clear. Okay, very nice. Yes. Okay, so move forward. I am moving forward. Okay. Next page. I am going to the next page. Okay, next. Now, in the previous class, I already gave you the heading. What? Interval and their notation. Interval and their notation. Okay, so this thing I have to done. This thing I have to do today in the class. Okay, as I told you yesterday, this is a very important thing. This is a very basic thing without which you cannot solve the mathematics of class 11th, class 12th, or any mathematics. So I'm going to start. See clearly. Concentrate on the board, everyone. Interval and their notation. Okay, interval and their notation. The first interval is closed interval. The first interval is closed interval. The symbol of the closed interval is like this. See this bracket. This is closed interval. Now, what is this closed interval? What does it mean? What is the meaning of closed interval? What is the meaning of interval? Everything I am going to explain. So listen carefully. Okay. Suppose I am explaining it with an example. That will be better. Suppose if it is written that, see clearly, everyone concentrate here, x belongs to. Okay, what is it written? X belongs to. You must know the meaning of every symbol. So it is the symbol of belongs to. X belongs to, see, closed interval 3 to 5. Mind my words. Each word you have to think about. What I told here, I told you 3 to 5. See, 3 to 5. Closed bracket on both sides. I told you 3 to 5. So what is the meaning of 3 to 5? 3 to 5 means the value of x is starting from 3 and it can take the values up to 5. That means x can take the value of 3.1, x can take the value of 3.2, x can take the value of 3.9, x can take the value of 4, x can take the value of 4.3, x can take the value of 4.9, etc. So x can take any value between 3 and 5. X is moving from 3 to 5. Okay. So in which way I am reading this, you must also listen that carefully, because if you suppose in the next class, if I ask you something and you are giving me the answer, then you must read this like whatever, like in the manner in which I am reading it. Okay. So what I have read it, what I am telling about it, x belongs to 3 to 5. Listen again, 3 to 5, closed on both sides. Okay, what does it mean? It does mean that its meaning is x can take the values starting from 3 up to 5. It can take all values between 3 and 5. And what does this closed bracket means? This closed bracket means x can take the value as 3 and x can take also the value of 5. That means the closed interval means the boundary values are included. That means x can take the boundary values, like x can be 3 and x can be 5 also. This is the meaning of closed interval. Okay. Then if I am writing this interval in the form of inequality, then I will write, see clearly, x can vary from 3 to 5, or x can take the value from 3 to 5. X can take the value 3, because here closed interval is there. Closed interval means this value is included. X can take this value. X can take the value of 5. X can be 5. So here also equality. So if x belongs to closed bracket 3 to 5, then what does it mean in terms of inequality? In terms of inequality, it means x can take the values from 3 to 5. X can be 3 also, x can be 5 also. So is it clear? Is the meaning of closed interval clear? Yes, please tell me immediately. Okay. So next, why other students are not replying me today? As I told you, day by day, your enthusiasm is getting reduced. Why? Yes. Okay. Yes, x can be 4. X can be anything between 3 and 5. Also, x can be 3 and x can be 5. Okay. So suppose if there is one inequality is written, for example, there is one inequality written x is belonging between A and B. X is lying here. Okay. X is lying between A and B. Equality on both sides means x can take the values between A and B, and also x can take the value of A. X can take the value of B. Then in terms of interval, what will you write is x belongs to A to B. Okay. How to read? Listen it properly, because you have to, or you have also to read it in later on. X belongs to A to B, closed on A, because A can be taken, the value of x can be A, and closed on B also, because the value of x can also be. Okay, so x belongs to A to B, closed on both sides. Okay, and yes, if I draw on the number line, how will you represent this interval on the number line? Suppose it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Here, the value of x can lie between 3 and 5. The value of x can lie between 3 and 5. So see, the value of x can be this, between 3 and 5. The value of x can be 3. So if the value of x can be 3, then here I will mark a solid circle. The value of x can also be 5. So here also I will mark a solid circle. So this red colored portion represents the values of x. So I hope the meaning of closed interval is clear to everyone. If anyone has doubt, then he can ask. But please tell me immediately so that I can move to second interval. Yes. Okay, nice. Okay. One is asking, sir, x can be greater than 5. No, here x cannot be, in this interval, x cannot be greater than 5. Okay, why? Because here it is written 3 to 5, not greater than 5, between 3 to 5. Okay. Okay, nice. So I'm moving to the next interval, and the second interval is open interval. The second interval is open interval. The symbol of open interval is, see, like this. This is the symbol of open interval. Now, what does it mean? Again, I am giving you an example, and by this example, the meaning of this open interval will get cleared. Okay, so see, if here it is written, listen again how I am reading. Okay, because the way how to read is also very much important to you. You must know how to read this. Okay, so see, it is written that x belongs to, again I am saying 3 to 5, again I am saying 3 to 5, open on both sides. Okay, so how to read? X belongs to 3 to 5, open on both sides. X belongs to 3 to 5, open on both sides. So what is the meaning of this? Again, 3 to 5 means the value of x can take between 3 and 5 anything. X can be 3.1, x can be 3.2, 3.8, 3.9, 4, 4.1, 4.2, 4.8, 4.9, anything x can take. But since at 3 it is open interval, so x cannot be equal to 3. Okay, since at 5 here it is open interval, so x cannot be equal to 5. Okay, so yes, 3 and 5 are excluded, or in one word I can say the boundary values are excluded in the open interval. What in closed interval, the boundary values are included, but in open interval, the boundary values means 3 and 5 are excluded. Then I will write in inequality notation that the value of x can lie between 3 and 5, but x cannot be equal to 3, so I will not put equal sign here. X cannot be equal to 5, so I cannot put equal sign here also. Okay, so the meaning of open interval is x can take the value between 3 and 5, but the boundary values are excluded in the open interval. So suppose if one inequality is written that x is lying between a and b, then how to write in an interval notation? In the interval notation, I will say x belongs to a to b. Okay, how to read? Be it clear. A to b and open on both sides, because a and b are not included in the value of x. Okay, so I will use open interval here. And again, how to show in the number line? Again, see, if it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, x belongs to open interval 3 to 5. Yes, you can read x belongs to open interval 3 to 5. But since both sides are open, that's why it will be better to say open on both sides. Because in the next case, I will show the problems in which one side is open and the other side is closed. Okay, so yes, you can say no problem, although it is also correct. You can say x belongs to open interval 3 to 5. Okay. So see, here x is belonging to 3 to 5. The value of x can take place between 3 and 5. X cannot take the value of 3. So see here how to show in the graph. If x cannot take the value of 3, then I will put a hollow circle here. I put a hollow circle here also, because x cannot take the value of 3 and also x cannot take the value of 5. Okay, that's why I am putting hollow circles at these two places. Although there is one more way to show this on the graph, and you must know that thing also. X can take the value between 3 and 5. X cannot take the value of 3, so I have to put an arrow. X cannot take the value of 5, so I have to put an arrow. So there are two ways you can represent in either of ways. Okay, both the ways are correct. You can represent in both ways, and you must know the meaning of both ways. Okay, so this is open interval. I think it's clear. So tell me, please, is it clear or not? Please be a little active. Immediately answer whatever I am asking. Yes. Okay. Just like in the first class, again and again I am telling you, just like in the first class, I want to show your enthusiasm. Okay, nice. So now I am moving to next. Okay. Okay, nice. Very good. Now I'm moving to the third interval. Third interval, I'm saying semi, and now you can say semi-closed or semi-open, whatever you like. Why? Because suppose if a glass of water is half filled, then some person can say that it is half filled, semi-filled, and some person can say that it is half empty or semi-empty. Both are the same thing. Okay, in the same way, I am telling you, you can write semi-closed or semi-open interval. Okay, semi-closed means it is half closed, and definitely half will be open. So semi-closed means semi-open, both are the same thing, because if half is closed, then other half will definitely be open. So anything can be said about it. Okay, now what is it? See, again I am giving you the same example. If again listen my words properly, if x belongs to 3 to 5, open at 3, closed at 5. Okay, how to read it. Okay, you must listen this also. You must know that how to read this interval. So this is also an important thing. What is written here? X belongs to 3 to 5, open at 3, closed at 5. Okay, sir, I have joined today only. So, sir, can you explain how to draw Venn diagram? Till now, I have not taught the Venn diagram. Okay, in the next class, I will start set theory, and in that class, I will, not in that class, after 1 or 2 class, I will teach you the Venn diagram. Okay, don't worry about it. Till now, I have not taught Venn diagram. So see, if x belongs to 3 to 5, open at 3, closed at 5. So you can say it is semi-closed and automatically it is semi-open. What does it mean? Yes, in terms of inequality, it means the value of x can take between 3 and 5. The value of x cannot be equal to 3 and the value of x can be equal to 5. So at 5, I will put an equal sign. Very simple. Okay. Similarly, suppose if inequality is written, and this time I am putting inequality here, a less or equal to x less than b, then in terms of interval notation, I will write the value of x can take place between a and b, or x belongs to a to b. X can take the value of a, so I will put a closed interval, and x cannot be equal to b, so I will put an open interval. Okay, so I think everyone is clear about this concept, semi-closed interval. And yes, in the number line also, you can show this in a similar way, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the value of x can take between 3 and 5. Okay, it's okay. X can be equal to 5, so here a solid dot. X cannot be equal to 3, so here a hollow circle, or you can put an arrow. Okay, so it is clear, I think. Okay, so quickly I am moving to the last one, and see, listen now. My each word must be listened by you properly, because if you are listening my words only, then you will be able to understand the difference between this one and the previous one. The last one is curly bracket. Curly bracket. Okay, so see, what is the difference between this curly bracket and the previously whatever I have taught you? Here it is written bracket, but previously I have written interval. The previous one were interval. See, the previous one were interval. But here I have written bracket, not interval. Okay, so this is one difference. Now what is the difference between bracket and interval? Just wait for a few minutes. The symbol of curly bracket is like this. Okay, and what does it mean? So its meaning will be cleared by an example again. Suppose if it is written that x belongs to, listen, again listen, very carefully listen what I am saying here. X belongs to 3 and 5. What is the difference? Previously I was reading 3 to 5. But here I am reading 3 and 5. Okay, 3 to 5 means between 3 and 5. 3 to 5 means between 3 and 5, every value can be taken by x. Okay, between 3 and 5, every value can be taken by x. X can represent this whole interval, but here x does not represent an interval. X belongs to 3 and 5 means x can be equal to 3 or x can be equal to 5 only. Yes, Varsha, you are correct. X cannot be equal to 3.1, x cannot be equal to 3.2, x cannot be equal to 4, x cannot be equal to 4.8. Okay, x can only take the value of 3 and 5. So it does not represent any interval. It just represents individual values. Okay, For example, if here written is x belongs to curly bracket a, b, c, then what does it mean? Then I will say x can take the value of a or b or c. It does not represent any interval. It just represent individual values. Okay. So I'm writing this. It does not represent any interval. It does not represent any interval. It represents only individual values. Okay. So yes, tell me, is the meaning of all the things is clear to you or not? 3 are interval, 1 is bracket, and we will use all these intervals and brackets while writing the answer of inequality. Okay. Okay. Good. So I'm moving to the question part, to the problem part of this theory. Okay. So I'm moving to the next page. So everyone, okay, everyone is requested to participate. Everyone is requested to give the answer, whatever I am asking for. I am not asking you any conceptual question. I am just asking that whether you have understood or not. Should I turn the page or not? So only these simple things I am asking for. And I think you all can give the answer for this. Okay. By this, I know that you people are not sleeping on the other side. Okay. By this, I will come to know that you all are active in the class. Okay. So please reply whenever I ask. So see, yes, I am starting the question. Okay. So the question is, you have to write the value of x in interval notation. Okay, what is the question? The question is, you have to write the value of x in interval notation. I am writing the value of x in inequality notation, and you have to write that value of x in the interval notation. The first question is, the first inequality is, can you explain once again for semi-closed interval? I think semi-closed interval, nothing new is there. One side is closed, one side is open. The side which is open, that boundary value cannot be taken. The side which is closed, that value can be included. Okay, that's a very simple thing. The meaning of semi-closed interval. Okay. How to spell it? Okay, x belongs to 3 to 5, open at 3, closed at 5. That's all. Okay. So is it clear? X belongs to 3 to 5, open at 3 and closed at 5. Okay. Now one announcement for you, that after this class, Venkanna sir wants to talk with you people. Okay. So please stay here. After the class, sir will talk to you. Okay. Okay. Okay now. So yes, the question is, write the value of x in interval notation. You have to write the value of x in interval notation. I am giving you the value of x in inequality notation. So the first very simple problem is 2x minus 1 greater or equal to minus 5 less than 7. Okay. So you have to write the value of x in interval notation. Yes. What should I write the answer? Everyone please try first and then I will give you the answer. Very simple. Waiting for your answer. Please quickly. If you are not able to put closed or open in the chat box, then no problem. You can just write the interval. I will understand that later on you can put open close. Okay, nice. Oh, Deepak, I am not saying the value of 2x minus 1. Okay, so 2x minus 1 belongs to minus 5 to 7. No, see the question. Write the value of x. You have to write the value of x in interval notation. Okay, everyone, please see the solution. The next question. No. Jayasankar, no, not correct. I don't think anyone is giving me the correct answer. No one is correct. Okay, see. Now everyone stop writing, stop solving the question. Everyone please listen here. Everyone please see the solution. And in the next question, I want correct answer from you people. Okay. See, now stop giving me the answer. Just look at the solution. Okay. I want the correct answer in the next problem. Okay, see. See here, I want to get the value of x only. So slowly and slowly, I have to remove all other things from here. So first of all, I have to remove this one. If I have to remove this one, then I have to add one on all the three sides. Okay, I have to add one in all the three sides to remove one from here. If we add one to all the three sides, it will become minus 4. Here, less or equal to 2x. Here, you will get 8. Now, see. Again, I don't want the value of 2x. I want the value of x. So I have to remove this 2 from here. To remove this 2, I will divide by 2 in all the three sides. Remember one thing. Whatever operation you will apply here, the same operation will be applied in all the three sides. So you have to divide by 2 in all the three sides. So if you are dividing by 2 in all the three sides, you are getting minus 2 here, x here, 4 here. Okay, so now this is the value of x. X is varying from minus 2 to 4. And that's why in interval notation, I will write x is varying from minus 2 to 4. So I will write x belongs to minus 2 to 4, closed at minus 2 because here equality is here, and open at 4. So that is the final correct answer. I think everyone is clear. Akash, Parnem, Manikanta, Archana, Ravindra had given the correct answer. Okay. So I think it's clear. Anyone has any doubt, he can ask immediately. Okay. So are you ready for the next problem? Okay, ready for the next problem? Can you give me the correct answer? Okay, so give me the correct answer. The value of x you have to give me in interval notation, and your inequality is 3x minus 2 divided by 5 less or equal to 2 greater or equal to minus 3. So yeah, so remove equality from one side. Okay. So you have to write the value of x in interval notation, solve it and get the value of x, and after that write the value of x in interval notation. So write it. Okay, write it quickly, do it quickly. Okay. I don't think your answer is correct. Santosh. Yes, waiting for the correct answer quickly. Minus 5.624 Versa. I think it's correct. Let me check. 5.6 exactly. I don't think you will get. Okay. So one side is, I think, not correct. Yes. Hinduza minus 5 by 3. No, minus 5 by 3, I don't think. Your answer is again not correct. What is this? Minus 5.66. Okay, you have divided minus 5.666. Okay. Again, but still that is not correct. Okay, let me check. Minus 13 by 3 to 4 by 3. Again, that is not correct. Minus 13 by 3 to 4 closed interval. That's correct answer. Kancha Chaitanya Vardhan. You are right, I think. Okay, so I'm going to solve it. See, one student has given the absolutely correct answer. See, I have to get the value of x. So, except x, you have to remove all the things from here. So, first of all, I have to remove this 5. So, multiply by 5 in all the three sides. So, here you will get is minus 15. Here you will get 3x minus 2. Here 10. Now, to remove this 2, add 2 in all sides. If you are adding 2 in all sides, here you will get minus 13, 3x, here 12. Now, to get x divided by 3, so divide whole sides by 3, divide all sides by 3. So minus 13 by 3, x, and here 4. So now this is the value of x. Now you have to write this in the interval notation. So how will you write it? As x belongs to minus 13 by 3 to 4, open at minus 13 by 3 and closed at 4. So I think it's clear to you. If anyone has any doubt, then immediately ask. Otherwise, be ready for the next problem. Yes, please. Everyone is clear or not? Okay, good. So I think you have written. I am turning the next page. Okay, nice. Yeah, I am giving you the question. Don't worry. But don't think that I will give totally similar question. In each problem, I will do some new thing. Okay. In each problem, you have to think differently. So each problem will be a new one for you. Even if you know the answer of this, even if you are able to solve this, then in that case also the next problem will be a little new for it. Okay. So be ready for the next question. Now you have to write the value of x in the interval notation, and your inequality is 2x minus 3 less or equal to, suppose I am writing 4. Okay, that's all. This is the only question. You have to write the value of x in interval notation. Do it quickly. Do you know each problem, each and every problem will give you some new concept. And one thing I want to assure you, if you study these problems and theory properly, then in the exam, you will not get anything new. As in the first class, I told you from your notes, 80% of the problems of mains will be directly from your notes. Directly means the same concept, only data can be changed. Because whenever I will teach you any topic, then I will do exhaustive set of problems, exhaustive set of things. So out of which it is very difficult to make new problems even for IIT. Okay, so 80% of the problems will be from your notes only. No, I want your answer in interval notation. No, interval notation, interval notation. So see, I am solving the question. Now everyone listen carefully. Okay. Please everyone listen carefully. Now don't solve the question. You just see the solution, whatever I am giving to you. Okay. See. 2x minus 3 less or equal to 4. I need to get the value of x. Okay. So except x, remove all other things. So first of all, I have to remove this 3. So carry this 3 on other sides. Okay, open interval infinity to 7 by 2. It's very much, you are very close to the correct answer, Kancha Chaitanya, but not totally correct. Very small mistake, but still good. See, add 3 or carry 3 on this side. So you'll get 2x less or equal to 7. Now divide it by 2. So you will get x less or equal to 7 by 2. So x is smaller or equal to 7 by 2. The lower limit is not given. What the minimum value is, x can take that value. What is the minimum value of x that it can take? Here nothing is written. So what is the minimum value? See from the number line. Yes, minus infinity. Good. You will be very much clear by this number line. See, everyone see please. Everyone look at the board. X is smaller than 7 by 2. So x is smaller than 7 by 2. What is the least value? It can move up to minus infinity, because lower limit of x is not given here. So what you will say, x is varying from minus infinity to 7 by 2. And if I am saying x is varying from minus infinity to 7 by 2, then I will write in the interval notation as x belongs to, see, minus infinity to 7 by 2. Minus infinity to 7 by 2. At 7 by 2, there must be closed bracket because equal sign is there. At minus infinity, there must be open bracket. Remember, yes, Vignesh, you are absolutely correct. Remember, at minus infinity, always there must be open bracket. At infinity or minus infinity, there must always be an open bracket. Why? Because we put closed bracket at those values which can be taken by x. But you know, infinite is very large number which can never be reached. So x can never reach up to infinity. That's why x cannot take the value of infinity. That's why at infinity or minus infinity, we will always put open interval or open bracket sign. So that is the correct answer. So everyone is clear about it or not? Please tell me. If yes, then the next question is very much similar to this, and I hope you will give me the correct answer to the next question. Okay, good. Okay, nice. So yes, please, next question is 3x minus 2 greater than 7. So write in the interval notation the value of x. Do it quickly, very simple. Please quickly do. X belongs to, again you are putting minus infinity. No, 3 to infinity. Santosh, you are correct. 3 to infinite. Vignesh, you are also correct. Varsa, correct, but at infinity you will put open interval. I told you, I think. Yeah, infinity and minus infinity you have always put open. Parnem Manikanta, you are correct, but at 3 it is open. See the question clearly. Okay, Anjali, you will write infinity on the right side. Always remember 3 to infinity. Yes. Sai Kirtana, good. Okay. Okay. Deepak, 3 to infinity, good. So many students are giving correct answer. Ravindra, it's okay. 3 to infinity. See, the answer is, listen. I need to get the value of x. So except x, I will remove all the things. So I carry this 2 on the right side. I will get 3x greater than 9. So x greater than, remove this 3. So on the, it will go on right side in the denominator. 9 divided by 3, it becomes 3. Okay. So see, x greater than 3. The upper limit is not given here. So you can see from the number line, you can understand it from the number line. X is greater than 3. And what is the highest value it can take? That is plus infinite. So listen, x can take the value from 3 to infinite. And I am writing this in interval notation. X belongs to 3 to infinite. 3 to infinite. Okay, open at 3 because here equality sign is not there. And infinity or minus infinity, you always put open interval. So that is the correct answer. Many students have given me the correct answer. That's very good. Okay. One thing is that, another thing is that some students were writing the answer as infinity to 3. No, this is not the correct way to write. I told you in the previous class, I think, the smaller number is written on the left side and the greater number is written on the right side. Okay, infinity is greater, so you will write 3 to infinity, not infinity to 3. Okay, so please be careful while writing the answer also. Okay, so I think it's clear. Should I move to next page? Okay. Okay, good. I think things are easy till now. So give me the answer. Write the value of x in interval notation. And this time the inequality is, as I told you, in each question you will get some new. Okay. So in this question also there is some new thing to you. 3 minus 5x divided by 2. And this time I'm putting closed on both sides. And here suppose 2. And here suppose let's say 7. Okay. Do it. Quickly, please do it. Do it quickly, please. Not a tough question. You can do it. Waiting for your answer. I think everyone is attending the class with copy and pen. Minus 2 by 5 to 1 by 10. Okay. 1 by 10. Minus 1 by 5 minus 11 by 5. Okay. One by 5, 17 by 5. No, it cannot be. Minus 1 by 5 minus 11 by 5. Okay, as I expected, according to my expectation, you people are giving me the answer. Okay. Now stop writing, stop solving, stop giving me the answer. Listen carefully. I need to get the value of x. So one by one, remove all other things. So multiply by 2 on all the three sides. So first of all, you will get 4. 3 minus 5x and here 14. Remove this 3. How? Subtract 3 from all the sides. So here you will get 1. Here minus 5x. And here 14 minus 3, 11. Now listen, the important step. Everyone please focus. Divide the whole sides by minus 5. And if you will divide by minus 5, you will get here minus 1 by 5. Here x. Here minus 11 by 5. And listen, the sign of inequality will get changed. Okay, so this is an important thing I want to tell you. If we divide or multiply by a negative number in any inequality, then sign of inequality will get changed. Always remember this thing. This is a very basic thing. Suppose if 3 and 5 are written, which one is greater? Everyone does know that 5 is greater than 3. Suppose if I multiply by minus 2 on both sides, okay, multiply by minus 2 on both sides. So here you will get minus 6. Here you will get minus 10. Now which one is greater? Minus 6 is greater. Okay. So remember this thing. if in any inequality we multiply or divide by a negative number, then sign of the inequality gets changed. So here I have divided by -5 in all the three sides. It is a negative number. That's why sign of inequality will get changed. So now this is the correct way. Okay. Now see, x is varying from -11 by 5 to -1 by 5. What I'm saying, listen carefully. -11 by 5 to -1 by 5. Closed on both sides, because on both sides there is equal sign. So that is the correct answer. So students got the correct answer, but they were writing the answer like -1 by 5 to -11 by 5, which is not correct. You know, the smaller number is written on left and the greater number is written on right, and you can check. This is a greater number, this is a smaller number. Okay, you can check, you can get the value. -1 by 5 is -0.2 and -11 by 5 is near about -2 point something. So it is greater, it is smaller. So that's why it is wrong. And one important thing you got to know that, if we multiply or divide by a negative number on both the sides, then sign of inequality gets changed. Remember this concept. Is it clear or not? Okay, so after the class is, I think, getting over. So now Venkanna sir wants to talk with you people. So please stay here. Okay, sir will talk to you people. I think everyone is clear. Sir is coming, he will talk to you people. So stay here, stay connected here. Okay, and yes, I am ending the class. Remember this concept. And if someone has habit to forget the concept, then he can write, if we multiply or divide by a negative number, then sign of inequality gets changed. Always remember this thing. Yes. In the Telegram group, I think you must talk to Kundan sir, the sir who sends link to you. He will add you in the Telegram group. And yes, someone is asking for homework, so I will definitely send the homework on this in the Telegram group today itself. Okay, and I expect all of you will solve the homework, all of you will do the homework, and you will attend the class in the next timetable. Tomorrow I'm not saying, because tomorrow is Sunday, but in the next timetable class you will attend the class with completing your homework. Okay, so thank you again. I am saying Venkanna sir will talk to you right now, so please stay connected. Okay, so thank you. We'll meet in the